today we're going to be making some wire wrapped jewelry, probably. I'm prepping up for our next event, which is a moth market, kind of curiosities expo type event in Springfield, Missouri on October 18th. So that's what I'm prepping for, but also we'll be listing this stuff to the website as well. Just because, in case it sells before then. But so we'll see how that goes. We just got the newsletter sent out, so hopefully that's all good and taken care of. All right. And click the like button. Well, hey, Hawk, you're the first person in again today. So I'm really, really pleased with the circlet that we made yesterday. We finished yesterday in our Craft Along with Vaughn live stream. But it hurts after a while. It presses a little too hard on my head, though it seems to be doing okay like this, but I bet if I was like, it's gonna move on me. And I'm gonna be acting up whenever I'm in costume. Like I can't dress up and not be acting out. So I think I'm gonna put a little bit of like 2mm black foam like on the back. What adhesive, like what glue would you guys recommend for that? Because it's like right now the pressure point, it's not so bad. It's just sitting across here. Oh, well, hey, Robin. Hey, Lisa. Hey, Carrie. Hey, Barbie. Hey, Saki girl. Hey, Martha. Hey, Cindy. Oh, my goodness. Y'all are just coming on in. Come on in. Get settled in. Cheers. Clink. Welcome to the craft room. What are you guys working on today? But so I'm still trying to figure out like my perfect, most favorite way. Because I'd like for it to sit more like that. Oh, that's working pretty well. I can see why elves always like walk like they're balancing their freaking circlet on their head. Aw, hey Stephanie, how's it going? I don't know how to post to the Facebook group. I've done 2 posts and neither of them have showed up, so I don't know if I'm doing something wrong. Well, I've done 3 posts, but one of them showed up, but then the other 2 didn't, so I was just like, I don't know. Well, hey Martha, how are you doing? Beaded plants for me. Oh, I can't kill those. That's a good point. Haven't been able to watch the live streams lately. Well, I'm glad you were able to make it today, Lisa. How have you been? Maybe a double-sided tape? Oh, now that's a good idea. That is a good idea. But it's just right behind right here is where I'll wear this for a little bit, and then I'll show you where the pressure point it makes on my forehead is. Well, hey, Lisa. How are you doing today? So we did finish this piece this week in the other Craft Along with Vaughn live streams, which I'm really excited about. I don't know if you're aware, but we had 2 tutorials come out this week. One of them was for this design here, which I still love so much, and also for this design here, which is a super simple little star wrap on a cabochon bauble. Hawk says I still can't find the Facebook page. Oh no. I don't think posts are on need approval. Oh, I don't know. I figured I'd ask. You said it properly. Thank you. Aw, right on. Excellent. I'm having some coffee with 0 sugar hazelnut creamer. Right on. Mine's a 0 sugar Italian sweet cream. I've not tried the hazelnut. I usually get the Italian sweet cream because I'll put that in my chai as well. Hey Earth, how's it going? So, let me figure out what I'm doing in my life right now, because I was supposed to be for 20 minutes. I've been standing here trying to tidy up my work surface. So I think we're gonna start with just moving things and scooching things. Moving and scooching things. Well, hey Jojo, how are you doing today? I'm just gonna squeeze the tripod. There we go. It's your favorite? That's good. That's a nice thing about, I love having my cup of coffee my favorite way. Sometimes I do like to mix it up a little bit. All right, so I'm just gonna start. I got all my loosey-goosey wire into a bag. It just makes me kind of feel like I need a trench coat and I need to do like, you wanna buy some wire? Like, or something. Hey, kitty. How did you do the back of the circlet? Okay, it's a work in progress right now. So, and you might be able to see, yeah, you can, it gives me like a butt crack right on my forehead where the little wings, the little butterfly wings, that part right there, that's my trouble spot. And so I didn't know if a little bit of foam or like some moleskin or what, but it was, oh, and it gives me a headache after a little bit. Are you make it organite? What's organite? I don't know what that is. It's like, I had a cup of tea with caramel macchiato in it today. I enjoyed it immensely. Ooh, that sounds pretty good. The way that I did the back is I used this 1/16 inch shock cord and I just did a lark's head knot on the ends. Very temporary. I mean, in theory, but I mean, it's holding on there, y'all. But I figured it'd be easy to resize. I'd like to do it where it's a little bit more even, and then I'd like to put some beads on it and like tie a little knot on the end. That way, when I'm wearing it, there might be a little, just a cute little something hanging down. I don't know. I thought it'd be fun. But that's how I do the back, because that way it's like hidden in my hair. But y'all were having some fantastic suggestions yesterday in our live stream where, just having it be wire, like solid wire all the way around. So I'm like thinking about that. Like that'd be cool. A small foam strip like they put in helmets. That's a really good idea, Robin. I had tried cutting some out from like this kind of beige EVA foam, but Randy and I both decided that the 5mm way too thick. So we're gonna try it again with 2mm. I have to touch on my rocks first because all of these need wire wrapped for our booth inventory for the moth market. I watched yesterday but missed where you got the butterfly. I think I got these butterflies on like Amazon, but it was like a few years ago and I've not been able to find the listing again. So, but I'm sending them out in our, because when years ago, whenever, up until recently, I should say, whenever I buy stuff, I'd buy it in like bulk. So I had gotten like 200 of these, just because in for a penny, in for a pound, I liked them. And I was right to, because they're awesome, first off, but also now I can't find them anywhere. But we're sending them out in the September craft along kits, and I'm hoping that we'll have enough to do that. So I'm not making any more of this design until I've sent out all of the September kits, because I don't want to take from what I could be sending to y'all. But it was still a really fun design, and I bet it could be done with any butterfly shaped filigree type component. What was important to me is that I was able to do that little bit of stitching there along the edges like that, because that comes in really handy on just getting it to be connected. And then I used one of our groove cabochons, which have been added to the shop, by the way, if you're in a shopping mood. But so, and I used 16 gauge wire, and you can see it's right where I did that little twist. Right there is what pushes into my head. Maybe a layer of silk ribbon, easier on the skin surface, maybe. Let's try, let me go grab some 2mm foam. I'm finding myself wondering, I got like a circle hole punch that I think would cut this. But if I make a bunch of them, I'll get the circle hole punch and see how that goes. Okay, so I've got a strip of some 2mm foam here. And I'm just going to cut off like a centimeter wide bit of it. Pile that out of frame where nobody can see it. And then I'm going to risk getting sticky. Letha says, I went to my local rock and gem show last weekend. Glorious. Right on. Which one was it? Would you recommend it? Two-sided tape. Let's see how this sticks. It sticks to the desk. That's good. Let's see how this sticks to the gemstone and the wire wrapping. Okay. And so I'm just gonna, and I'm not gonna worry so much about getting it perfectly tailored right now, because what I would do, yeah, you can see that. That's obvious. Hey Tracy, how's it going? Hey Vanny. Do we have any sort of head count for our camp out? How many men will be with us? Um, I think we're gonna have, well, because not everybody's staying the whole time, but there's gonna be like at least 5 dudes there. So I'm gonna need a bigger cauldron. No, I don't know. I don't know how many people are coming. Figured I'd watch this while I'm getting admin done. Nice. Look at you being so productive. So already that is a big improvement. It's still a pressure point, but that's because my head's so big. Cedar City, Utah. Nice. If we're ever out in that direction. Aw, well, hey, Wee Wee, how are you doing? Hey, Sarah. But yeah, so my hair's a mess, but I like the way that's feeling. You know what I think would work really well? You know those like round things that you can get that's like a band-aid that you put over like a bunion for in your shoe? Like, I need one of those that looks like a little foam ring or something just to keep it from pushing down. But I bet if we trimmed that down a little bit, I don't know if that would reduce the effectiveness, efficacy. Is that a word? Moleskin, yes. Aw, your head's so big because you've got large thoughts. My thoughts are dummy thick. But this is definitely, you can definitely see it. But I'm still going to keep test wearing it. All right. So the thing that I'm trying to figure out right now is I'm going to sort my rocks. I must touch the rocks. No, I'm going to sort them first by shape. So I've got some teardrops, I've got some marquee cut, and I've got some ovals. And then I'm going to be wrapping in, oh, and I've got a rectangle, but he's not grooved. We'll set him off to the side. And then I think there might be another one in here that's not grooved. That one's not grooved either. So those will be for something else. Okay. So it looks like, okie dokie. I've got 3 different wire colors that I'm going to be wrapping in. And I like to do like a 2-1-1 ratio. So for every, like if I've got 4 cabs, 2 of them I'm going to wrap in silver tone just because that sells best for us. 1 I'm going to wrap in vintage bronze, and 1 I'm going to wrap in like a copper tone. So yeah, as far as test wearing goes, Tracy says, y'all please remember to thumbs up. Yes. So with the moleskin, like I think I'm going to have to get my hand on some moleskin and see about that. Well, thank you, Sarah. It's the same butterfly that I'm sending out in y'all's kits. Now, I haven't put the UV resin into those 5 little dots, but the nail polish is all nice and dry, so rhinestones would have worked too, but I did not have any. All right, so you've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. This is wonderful. I don't have even numbers of anything. That's fine. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay. So I'm going to do 3 in silver, 2 in copper, and 2 in bronze. And I just removed myself. However it came up on how it's laid out on the table, that's just going to be what. So, oh, we'll do 3 silver, 4 silver, and then 1 copper and 1 bronze. And then here we're going to do 5 silver, 3 copper, and 2 bronze. I'm gonna put all the silvers off that way because these are gonna be, hey baby, these are for doing that simple wrap design, right? For in the booth?
Yeah.
Okay. Just making sure.
Unless you want to get fancy with it.
You're so handsome. Why you gotta look at me like that? I gotta go kiss my husband. Randy, come here. What? Yeah. Thank you for the keys. I have been nothing but a menace and a handful all day, probably. So I've been trying to behave myself, but like, it's hard work. Somebody's got to menace him. Okay. So we're going to put our coffee here, and now we're going to use, what style of bale should I do? he says, I don't know. I think we're gonna use the half round. So for the bales, because that's gonna look sweet. I don't know if I have enough 18 gauge wire. Y'all, I'm a professional, I promise. That's all my wire. I did have enough wire. Guys, we made it to the weekend. Put yourself on the back. Pat yourself on the back. There we go. Okay. So, ruh-roh. Let me see if I can find some more. Ooh, here we go. And also equally... Somebody get parawire on the line. I'm devastated. Well, we'll just have to do some... I don't want to use 20 gauge. It looks like I have some in here. Yeah. This one will work. For a little one, we'll wrap this little guy in this little bit of wire. So that'll be good. Alright, let me go dig for some more wire. Ooh, I found some more of the big rolls. I love the way this drawer smells. I don't know why, but I wish you could sniff it. It smells like cedar and like Nag Champa incense, and I don't know why it smells like that, because it's not made of cedar, and I've never put that in. I don't know, I think I used to keep that incense in the drawer above this one. Uh-oh. Ruh-roh, Raggy. Yeah, I know, we're screwed. Uh-oh. I'll check another drawer. This is high quality content. Hey, Randy. Do you know if I hid any spools of 18 gauge titanium tone anywhere? Because I tried to squirrel them away, but I'm pretty good at squirreling, it seems. Nope, that's 20. We're just gonna have to make the most with what we have. So I get to make just a couple, and we shall see how that goes. Hey Diane, how's it going? And so I use one of these old makeup organizers to store my half round wire. So I've got some half round 18 gauge going on here. I'm so bummed. I just kept putting it off and never reordered any, and now I can't make what I want to make, because maybe it's in this drawer. No. Ooh, I found these beads, though. Those are some pretty beads. Oh my gosh, and a whole bunch of dagger beads. And some little... What? And some dice? Well, I found treasure. So it's been a minute since I could watch. I'm trying to keep from having crafty withdrawals. Oh goodness, are you not quite able to craft right now, or? Oh, Vaughn is now sniffing her boxes of wire. What's next? I mean, it smelled nice. Just the fact that I can smell anything is amazing to me, because for a long time I've not had, like, I'd completely lost my sense of smell. Like, I could be stirring a pot of like hot vinegar and nothing. So I'm just happy to feel something. So I'll sniff anything now, so long as I can smell, like, yeah. I don't know. Anyways, I should probably get out more, but here we are. I found these beads in a drawer. Look at how dusty that is. That's flavor right there. Some big ol', those are gonna be nice. And then some wee bitties. I used to take these to shows with me and make ear cuffs, like custom ear cuffs out of these little guys. But those are really nice. I'll keep those on my desk until I lose them again. Diane says, just been really busy at work in high school education, and I need some me time. I get that. I mean, I don't work in high school education, but I can just imagine. What size is the copper wire on your right on that little table behind the plastic box? This is 26 gauge, and I have it specifically set aside for that wire tree that I might finish in the next 30 years. So that's the deadline. that I've given myself on that one. Dude, what were you checking for when you put it in your mouth? Gauge, wire gauge? Because I guess I never grew out of that. I didn't realize I did that on camera. But here we are. That's fine. And then look at these little guys. These are just some little like 15 millimeter clear cabochons that aren't where they go. So that's good. And then I found these, which also weren't where they go. So I'm going to have to be, this is year 30, retiring at the end of this school year. Oh, well, congratulations on your upcoming retirement, Diane. Look at all these dagger beads. Hide stuff in drawers that you don't often look in, and it's like Christmas when you find it again. I see now why I put it in that drawer, though. I'll put it up here for future Vaughn to find. All right, so we're going to get this camera flipped around so that you can see what's going on. Maybe. We're going to try. That's the tripod, I promise. Do 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 do. All right, so we're gonna start with this guy. I don't want to be mixing my piles. Did I mix them already? Oh heck. You know what? This is just how it's gonna be. This is our bronze, that's our copper, this is our silver. So we've got this wee bitty guy that we're gonna be wrapping in our silver tone wire. I'm going to set these over here so I don't mix them. And this is how whenever I'm making jewelry for in our booth, I don't want to just have, I mean, my number one priority is to make stuff that I like, because if I don't like it, I don't feel confident, you know, in selling it. You know, if I don't like it, how can I expect someone else to? But also I recognize that, you know, stuff that is my favorite, if I only made my favorite things, I'd kind of run out of designs. Oh, Huck says I lip test my wire as well. The chicken Missouri, and someone thought I was saying chicken Missouri, and I was like, well, she does raise chickens. Chicken Missouri. So we're gonna find the center of our wire. Hey Lunia, how's it going? And we're gonna bend it up at a real nice sharp angle if we can. And I like to sharpen it up even more. Now this is 18 gauge American wire gauge wire. And I'm just going to kind of sharpen that up that way. And then these are, we call them our easy wrap grooved cabochons, because they are, well, hey Victoria, how are you doing? Thank you for your kindness. We're going to bring this around. I'm going to need to open that up a little bit because I don't want such like a little like gap there at the end. Oh, we're doing really well. Ooh, good thing they're durable too. Hey, Zannies. All right, so we're going to open that up just a smidge. Hey, Dan. Happy belated birthday. He says, my 62nd birthday was yesterday. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, happy birthday. Happy birthday to you. I hope you had a fantastic day, Dan. Birthdays are my favorite. I'm glad you're here. All right, we're going to do a single twist. So we have that like nice and fit. Oh, and let's do a second twist just for toots and giggles. Hey, Tina, how's it going? All right, so there's 2 twists. So that is just solidly in there until we screw with it, and it's not. So that's why I screw with it, though, is because I want to make for certain that our wire is settled nice and tight into those grooves. We don't want any wiggling, no tomfoolery. And then over here, I'm going to grab right there because I don't want to untwist our hard work, but I do want the wires sitting flat, like very two-dimensional, flat. Well, thank you, Victoria. I am making where'd it go? A simplified version of this essentially. So we're just making some wire wrapped pendants for listing to our website, as well as for an upcoming vending event that we're preparing for. And but this is a foundational technique that I use in a lot of our Trisella says, "Happy birthday, Dan, you youngster." Nice. Hey, Kathy. Yeah, I got my second cup today. But this is a foundational technique that this right here that we're looking at is the same as how I started this one that was in one of our most recent tutorials. Ooh. And then also how I did, oh, and let's see how the two-sided tape left no stickiness. That's fantastic. But on this circlet that I'm test wearing today, you can see it's the same style of grooved stone that I did the twist and then started incorporating into some more intricate wire weaving. And then I also like to include these groove edged easy wrap cabochons into, and you can see I just used a 26 gauge wire to hold that on there. So it kind of turns a cabochon into a bead, but instead of going through the center of it, you just wrap on the edges. And I just freaking love it. Like 100%. I'm going to put this, is that double-sided tape going to work a second time though? Because I think I'm just going to see if I can find some like little moleskin sticky back single use and just put one on for whenever I want to wear the circlet. But that tape runner, Elmer's brand tape runner, seems to work pretty well too. I just don't like how you can see the foam. Like that's not going to work for me. But we're still testing it. Hey DCS. Labradorite's one of my favorite stones as well. I've never met a rock that I didn't like though. Like you could hand me a pretty piece of gravel and I'll save it forever. All my house plants and like porch plants and stuff are a testament to that. Okay, so we are going to use our 18 gauge half round. This is not sponsored or anything, but I am using Para wire today. I really, really love their wire. It's very easy to work with. It's very affordable, I think, compared to sterling silver, but I don't have to worry about polishing it or it tarnishing or it turning my skin green or irritating me, what with my metal allergies. Victoria says stones and rocks are fascinating to me. Me too. Like I love learning about geology too. Very, very amateur level, but you know, like I'm thinking like big bird level, like not geometry, geology. But it's still, I like it. And so we're going to, if you've ever used, like who here's used half round wire before? There's like a raise of hands. Or a tickling of the like button, perhaps. Geology rocks, pun intended. But yeah. Oh, iced coffee is always good. Is that Blue Eye also made with polymer clay? Now this one, it is. This is one of our dichroic glass cabochons that it didn't really, the lighting in here is not doing it justice. It has this beautiful like purple dichro shimmer, but I did all the rest of it with polymer clay. And I need to make the bead links to turn it into a necklace because I just thought it looked super neat. But so with half round, oh, I haven't checked my email yet today, Hawk. So I'll have to check that out. But about loopers, I haven't used loopers in ages. I never really had very much success with them. I don't know if I was doing something wrong or what. But yeah, so with the half round wire, I know it's nice stuff. It was scary to me at first because it seemed so limited in what it could do, which I guess I still treat it limited in what it can do, though I think that's more me than the wire itself. But this is the round side. Do you see how it's got like the bright spot on the high point and then it's darker on either side? But then whenever we flip it, that's the flat side. See how it's like a flat flash? And more often than not, whenever I get my wire from Parawire, at least here lately, it's wrapped flat side facing out. So that's just something to kind of keep in mind. But I'm going to put the flat side against our core wires, and I'm just going to start wrapping around. Looked like an Egyptian eye. Oh, I love that. But yeah, I kind of like that. I wanted it to look like it would blink if you looked at it for too long. Boop. And so we've smushed that. Let me grab my wire snips, because I'm going to come in here. I'm actually going to lift this out just a little with my thumbnail so that I can snip. I like to have that wire snipped where it lines up kind of just in the middle of whatever it is that I'm wrapping. And the bail is going to get bent like towards the front. This is the part of the, that if you're wearing this on a necklace, this is where the chain would be going through. And so I'm gonna, right on, Vittori. Boop. We're just gonna smush it down all the way to those zip or twist tie twists. And now, and I'm not being delicate with this at all, because if it has any inclination to get wobbly, I want that to happen now. That way I can fix it before, you know, I don't want it to go to its forever home and, you know, have it get wobbly there. And I'm just being careful that my core wires aren't getting twisted. I'm going to use my bent nose. You could use any that you have. These are just right in front of me, to hold on to the wire just enough that it goes whoop, 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 wiggling. But I also want it to catch that edge. And we're going to squish. And then we're going to smush. Just to keep it nice and flat. And I want to do this for at least an inch. Victoria says, does it hurt your fingers eventually from twisting the wire? Yes. Yes, it does. You can see how it digs into my skin. This is not for the faint of heart, but if there's a crafter, there is a way. The biggest thing that I've run into over the years is I can only work about a 6-hour day now before I get shooting pains in the back of my hand. But that was about 2 years ago. They're getting closer to 3 at this point. Oh, okay, Hawk, right on. We were moving a bunch of logs and like stepping stones, and this was all in the same day because a tree came down in our friend's backyard and we were helping them. I learned how to use a chainsaw and lived to tell about it, which was very exciting. But hucking logs, and then we brought them to our house and threw them into the backyard so that their trailer would be empty. And then we were picking up stepping stones, like these 16-inch like concrete stepping stones. And so I was really putting my hands through the ringer that day. Kathy says you should be stopping before the shooting pain. You're right. And I'm learning. I'm getting better. And then same day after moving all those logs, all those stepping stones, I was like, I can work with polymer clay. Let's just decompress. And I was squeezing it and something popped. And then for 2 years, I did not let myself heal. Like I'd take like a day or two off until I could bear through it. But I mean, what do you do when you're self-employed? We don't get, you know, workers' comp. We got bills and stuff, like, you know, same as anybody. So I couldn't make myself take the time off until last fall. I made myself take 2 months off, and it might have spelled the end of our, you know, an era of like our YouTube channel and all sorts of stuff, but I had to take that time to let myself heal. I just couldn't anymore. And yeah. But I'm back at it. Here we go. Oh, and I was trying to learn the guitar at the same time. So it was very humbling. And I'm really glad it wasn't more serious, because oftentimes it takes, you know, sometimes it takes something really serious to humble a person and get us to know our limitations. But I am learning to listen to my body whisper so I do not have to hear it scream. And that is something that can only be done through practice. So I do lots of stretches. I wear my ice packs. One of my good friends gave me these very cool compression gloves that I'll wear not while I'm crafting, but at the end of my crafting sessions, I'll put these on. And then I've got these little mittens that I put on over it. And then I've got my ice packs. I'd show y'all, but I don't think Randy wants me to. It's called my super suit. Because, like, where's my super suit? Is it okay to show that picture online? I'm not wearing pants, but I don't think anybody can tell. Hey, Randy.
You know, the thing is no one would know.
Oh. You're right. Well, but because I have like neck and shoulder tension as well. So I'm just doing what I can to, like, you know, take care of myself. But also sometimes you just got to get through it. Like we don't get to stop a long work day just because our feet hurt. Hey D, how's it going? And so now we've done, let's measure just for science. I've lost my ruler. Uh-oh. No, I can get it. Can I, do you have that picture?
I'm looking for it.
Oh. That is about 25 millimeters. So perfect. Okay. I look like a dog who's fixing to get a bath, but
Yeah, really.
this is my super suit. So I've got my ice packs on my hands. That's for my tailbone that I hurt, and then for my neck and shoulders. So, but it gets me through, and I haven't had to wear it in a while. Like, but I do keep a heating pad and a hot water bottle at almost all times, just because that's nice. I can see why house cats like laying in the sun and laying on heating pads and stuff. It's just comfy. It looks very comfy, honestly. Yeah, but I have to set a timer or I'll wear it all day. And you're not supposed to apparently have ice packs on for longer than. Oh, Sarah says I usually craft in the lazy boy chair so my back is supported, but I lose things down the cracks all the time. I don't even know where I would put a lazy boy chair, but that would be freaking. I don't know. I think I'd fuse to it. It's probably for the best that I don't have one. A girl's gotta do what a girl's gotta do, right? So we're bringing this around. Yeah, the little bits. I'll sit on the couch here in the craft room, and that's nice because I can lay out. I'll also lay on my belly on the floor and be propped up on my elbows weaving chainmail. Okay. So I'm gonna bring this. I'm trying to decide where to cut, because what we've done is we folded that bale over, and I'm making kind of a little ram's horn thing on either side, but I don't know if I want to do that. Ooh, Sarah says I just bought some small pool noodles to stick in the cracks to see if that helps. That's brilliant. Yep, search the couch cushions for beads and tools. Crafter's gonna craft. All right, so I'm gonna snip right here down low. And then we can take our pliers and actually kind of bend that inward just a little bit, and I think it gives a very nice kind of curve to our wire. And this is just one of many ways of doing a bale for on this style of a pendant. And then you just thread the chain through right there. And on a style like this, if I were using thinner than 18 gauge, I wouldn't just leave it loose ends like that. Hey Michelle, how's it going? Boing. Love it. So the more I'm looking at it, the less into it I'm feeling. So you can always change your mind. We're cooling off. We are both outside digging holes for our trees. Oh, what trees are you planting? So I'm just going to bend one side around because I want a little stability. And so I'm just wrapping this very carefully around the neck. If this is the body and this is the head, I consider this the neck of our pendant. And then I'm just going to snip nice and close right here. Boom. Across the room. Oh, I don't even know. It made a really nice ting, though. And then on this side, we can take this. Not sure, they're from my father-in-law. Him and my mother-in-law are coming up tonight. And then tomorrow morning, we're going to plant them, so we need to dig ahead of time because of our dirt. Yeah, gotcha. Well, good luck with your trees. That's phenomenal. Very exciting. Okay. So sleek and minimalist type things come very difficult to me. So my strategy is usually to try to hide things behind a spiral. Hey Mirella, how are you doing today? So I'm going to grab my wire as close to the tip of the wire and as close to the tip of the pliers as I can. And I'm just going to bring this in as a cute little curly cue. Oh, and I feel very obligated to like this because I have very little silver wire currently. A little stability, same girl, right? Oh yeah, squishing it with my pliers, that usually works. When in doubt, smush it out. Oh, some parallel jaws would be perfect for this, but we don't need it. Okay, so just... Oh, but it's not aligned the way that I want. And see, this is... Uh-oh, I'm getting perfectionist mode. Well, hey, Mr. Moth, how's it going? Well, thank you so much. I'm glad you stumbled in. So I'm going to make myself not fixate because this is not going to be a very expensive pendant. And so I don't want to just like spend all day poking it. But I feel like the bail, whenever I find myself being critical of my work, I'm like, okay, but like why? What is it that I don't like about it? The bail feels too big for the pendant. And it's all kind of like squanchy and weird. Like it's like, eh. So I'm going to see if I can hit it with a hammer, maybe. Let me drag this over here. Randy says, you watch your squanching mouth. I'm just going to bonk it a bit. I'm going to take it like here. All right, loud noises. Well, that straightened it out beautifully. And now I'm just going to have to get over it that I feel like it looks too big. But I think maybe a dainty chain with it, somebody's going to love it. Next pendant. And that's sometimes you just have to let it go and move on to the next piece, because if I let myself get hung up on every little thing that didn't go quite right, I'd have never gotten past my first like week of making jewelry. Hammer time. Boom, dong, dong, dong. Do, do, do. Hammer time. Boo, 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 boo. Well, we have very little. This is, well, we got this little bit too. Let's see how much we can get done. Let's stop worrying about it and just get to crafting. Ooh, okay. So now with our ovals, we have some options because, and then with our teardrops, we have some options. The marquee, I'm not going to lie, are like my favorite to wrap because they're just so pretty. And I just choose whichever side has the prettiest flash as far as which point goes up. This one I think I would actually do. What if we wrapped one sideways? Oh, Michelle, you are right inside my brain right now. We're going to do this one horizontally, and we're going to do it as like a herringbone, and it's going to look freaking awesome. I got to sit down for this. Where's my wire? We're using 20 gauge. It's going to be epic. Or it's going to be horrible. Stay tuned to find out. Ah, some 16 gauge would go quite a ways also. Ooh, but what if we did it as a two-tone? So I'm going to use two-tone. Diane says, only you will notice what seems to be an imperfection. We are our own worst critics. I agree with that. I think all artists do that with their work. Sometimes you have to step back and you have a beautiful piece. Yes. Okay, we're going to do one horizontal now. Thank you guys for hanging out with me in the craft room today, because I don't know if I would have been brave enough to tackle that. So what we're going to do here on this one, very scary. Oh, but I'm going... First I have to throw it on the floor, and then we get to go search for it. But I'm going to leave the phone here because there's probably a dust bunny graveyard under my desk. So I'll be right back. I hope it didn't break. That would suck. It didn't break. It's broken. No, it didn't. We're good. But I really like this kind of bounce check. I really love those coppery tones and how it has that like little bit of blue flashing up there at the top. Like, nice. All right. I'm going to cut two 4 to 5 inch sections I got a ton of this wire. Well, not like a literal ton, but I got enough of it that I don't have to feel like I need to be stingy. And I am going to wrap with the half round. Yes, with the silver half round 18 gauge on just one side. It cuts so easily. It does. And that's this, the stone wants to fly. This is 16 gauge copper wire from parawire.com. And these are electronics wire clips, like wire cutters. I don't really use nice, expensive crafting wire snips because they don't hold up. Whereas these ones, I've had them for a while, quite a while. And they still cut through even this 16 gauge beautifully. Okay, so we're going to give that the old squish. And so what I'm thinking is off of either, and let's sketch this out first. That way, in case I get derailed. All right, fresh page. Where's a pencil? Here's a pencil. I gotta take this circlet off. I can't think with the circlet on. Okay, where'd my... All right. This is how I brain today. So what I'm thinking, because sometimes by sketching something out, we might be able to foresee problems before we're running into them. So it lets us troubleshoot. Plans rarely survive first contact with reality, but I still like having one. So this line is representative of our 16 gauge wire that we've just snipped some of. And this is actually going to be in the groove. So I'd like to do, I don't know how much of the wrapping with the 18 gauge half round here on this side, like on each end. And that's hopefully going to be snug enough that it's going to keep that 16 gauge wire set nice and firm into our groove. Worst case scenario, I may be able to hide some 28 gauge in there underneath it. Bye, Cindy. And then I was going to have this, like, these ends would coil in to make a loop that's wrapped. And that's what would attach to the necklace chain on either side. So let's go ahead. I'm going to erase that. Boop, boop, boop. Because we've got to have the room to be able to do the herringbone. And that's what this length of wire is going to give us. And so then probably with using a 20 gauge wire, we can do a herringbone. But possibly with maybe one layer having coils, one layer having beads, and then the last layer being bare. What do you think? Let's see if we can make it work. I gotta put the date on this because that's how I keep track for their tips and notes for future Vaughn from past Vaughn. But now y'all know what the plan is, and you might be able to give me some advice knowing what it is that I'm trying to accomplish. So I don't know if I need the loop itself to be coiled. I'm excited. It's just fun to try something different. Like, and I love sitting down with the presumption that I'm just going to make a bunch of the same very basic thing. It gets me crafting. Sometimes the hardest part about being creative for me is just getting out of my own way. And so if I can just get myself to sit down and start, then there's no telling what'll happen. Well, hey, mister, how's it going? Victoria says, I understand nothing, but I'm here for moral support. Well, I appreciate the heck out of you. So what kind of stuff do you, are you crafty, or you just kind of here hanging out? Okay, so I can't wrap the next step. Like, I'm so excited, I'm sweaty. Ugh. Where'd my, yeah, that's the one we're using. Okay. So I am going to go like bonk and go like bonk to try to get this to be a good shape. I don't want to be pulling that out. I'm just using my thumbnail to kind of press. But you know, I don't need to do that. We've got the stone right here. Let's just... I'm learning crochet and it kicks my butt sometimes. Oh my god, crochet is hard. Like, it's deceptively simple. Some things is like, oh, just do this, while also keeping count, while also doing it right. That's hard. Like, that's hard enough. Okay, so now from here, and we need to be careful because if we apply pressure to the stone from within, it gets very much like stone napping very, very quickly, where we might be chipping off little flakes of our cabochon, and I don't want to be doing that. So I'm just going to grab right there, and we're going to go like, and then we're going to grab like right here, and we're going to go like, and then my hope is that we'll be able to get that nice and tight woven together. Victoria says, I made a rug last week, turned out all crooked, but my cats love lying down on it, so it's all good. Right on. Well, it's organic. That's so cool. I didn't know you could crochet rugs. Well, hey, Stace Cakes. How are you doing today? So that one, I did not do where I needed to. So I'm going to come back in here, and I'm just going to straighten that out, and then I'm going to try again. And that's another thing I like about this wire. It's very, very forgiving. I don't mean to put my fingers in the way, just I'm providing support. The sound effects are my favorite. Oh yeah, I love that. And see, it's like in there. Okay, let me blow on my hands a little. Oh, the sound effects help 100%, if only just to boost morale. Like, so much of crafting, I think, can be in endurance. It's not just knowing what you want to make and knowing how to make it. It's also getting through making it. Yeah, Victoria says, Wire seems very forgiving indeed for Control C, the mistakes. And a lot of that can kind of come with practice and over time. I used to double down whenever I had mistakes going, and be like, nah, it'll work. And it's like, no, whenever I see something going awry, I try to fix it before it's a genuine problem. Okay, so to make this very, very tight, before I get it very, very tight, I want to slide it down, and then I am going to insert my pliers here. Let me make sure we're not blurry. So I'm pushed up as far in as I can get the pliers, and then I'm going to try to use leverage, just really cinching the crap out of that to like make that extra little bit of space. I hope that makes sense. Woo! Oh, I'm gonna have to vacuum because I will find that in my poor little toes. Ah, well, hey, Easter Kim says, hi, I'm just starting out on bead jewelry. This is awesome. Nice. Beading is so much fun. Like, I started out on just stringing beads on, I didn't even have like proper like wire or anything like that, like the beading cable. So anytime that folks are like, oh, I just make bead jewelry, it's like, that's where a lot of the fun is at, actually, just lining the beads up pretty and stringing them and then wearing them. Like, I started, I think, with macrame and beading, because like with macrame you don't need nearly as many beads because, you know, you can fill up so much of the space. Oh, I've done that much longer than what I needed to. So I'm going to unwrap some, and we're going to test and see how well these nylon jaw pliers work on half round wire, because you can see this is very, very textured. But as I built my bead collection, I started doing more beading, and then I started doing wire wrapping because I wanted to be able to hang, you know, a pretty cabochon off of a necklace, like a pendant. We used to have my poor sister walk on the carpet after sewing. She was the best magnet ever. Who needs to vacuum? Oh my god. No. Which sister? Oh goodness. I mean, you know, teamwork makes the dream work, though. Okay. Hey Cray says, I can't imagine what your jewelry collection looks like. I bet it's crazy. Um, Right now it's pretty picked over, fortunately. We just had a very good event, Dragon Con in Atlanta, Georgia on Labor Day weekend. So I'm kind of hustling to restock some of the more unique stuff for our next event. It was booger. Right on. Okay. Yes, Trisella says most crochet is basically easy, but if you make a mistake, you may not know it for a while, and then you have to rip out rows just to fix it. Yup. So this is, all right, step one. That's pretty good. I'm going to measure a little late, but better late than never. We've got a centimeter and about a centimeter. Excellent. You could also count the wraps. Let's do 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Then we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Do you think it'll be all right? Or should we, if you want to unwrap some of your work, we just get in here. And I like to use my fingernail, or you can use the very narrow edge of some flat nose pliers. So let me show you. These are both technically, these need, with macrame, the beads are much bigger. That's true. Typically, I did a lot of macrame with seed beads, like size 8 and size 6 seed beads. So these ones need oiled, but you can see the size difference on the tips. So I really like thin-tipped flat nose pliers because you can see on this side we had actually used a grinder to reduce the thickness to make it where if I can't get my thumbnail or if my thumbnail's too weak, I could get that under and remove just one coil. Whoop. And then I'm going to snip that and I'm going to put my finger over it so it doesn't go across the room. And then we're going to smush that back down. Yeah, I try to go symmetrical if it's easy enough. So close to the camera. Is that good or bad? Hey Hope! It's been a minute joining the chat. You ground me when I'm feeling scattered. I'm crocheting while you do your magic. You're awesome and love your work. Well, I'm glad to be helpful to you. Getting a little grounded, that's kind of nice sometimes. But all these little pieces of trash, like the trash scrap wire, I save them. I've been hoarding them in these little jars that I'm going to decorate like a little fairy apothecary, like a artificer cabinet with. For me, it's good that it's close up because I'm blind as a bat. Right on. Well, I know I've got such a tidy workspace, and so it's not always crisp. I want it to be crisp. All right, so we've smushed that down. Let's give it a wiggle test. Oh yeah, I love it when it passes the wiggle test. Do, 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 do. Wiggle, wiggle. Oh, that's right. We were going to test and see. I'm going to clamp that down with my pliers, and then we're going to use my favorite tool, nylon jaw pliers. They are pliers with a nylon jaw so it doesn't scrape the wire. And this is how I like to remove some of the kinks and weirdness from my wires. And I'm gonna say, I mean, that worked okay on the half round. Well, hey TH, how's it going? But if I know there is a mistake, it makes me crazy. I get that, Trisella. Oh, right on. Kim says, I've made a couple of cute earrings and bracelet sets. Friends love them. Oh, that's the greatest gift, like, I think, is being able to give something to a friend that, like, if I can give something to somebody and they, like, love it and it makes them light up, like, you just can't buy something like that. Not that I'm aware of. Because I love to give handmade gifts, just as better than probably any other kind of gift. Because it's got some of me in it, and if I'm giving somebody a gift, it's not just like hucking some junk at them, being like, here you go, get out of here. Like, all right, so I'm going to try to do this about a centimeter long past where, and check out these, not to flex, but 2 lengths of 16 gauge copper wire. Boom. I'm going to use my stepped mandrel pliers because they have a solid cylinder for the bit, you could use round nose pliers, but it's got a taper, so one of the loops comes out a little larger or smaller than the other one. So I'm just going to grab as close to the end of the wire and as close to the end of the pliers as I can, and I'm going to bend this around until it's touching. Sorry for the blurriness. All right, we're going to have to clear the way. I don't know why I bothered dividing everything up, because I just got it mixed up. But you know, it gives chaos a hand in it too. Ah, clean work surface. Well, hey, Daphne. Hello from Alaska. I love wire wrapping jewelry. I started out stringing beads, then found videos on wire wrapping, and I haven't went back. Nice. I'm gonna be honest. That's freaking awesome. Wire wrapping's so much fun. I love personally doing hybrid pieces. So like just anytime that I'm learning a new craft or something, I just feel like it's another tool that I'm adding to my toolbox. Because as much as I love wire wrapping, I'm not just a wire wrapper. You know, I'm not just a leather worker. I'm not just a chain mailer. I'm an artsy fartsy maker of messes, but okay. So there's that. And again, I want to make sure that everything's like on the up and up and nice and in line. Oh, metal smithing seems so much fun. It's the sort of thing that I've got some metal smithing stuff, like I've tried soldering here at home. All right, let's hit it with a hammer and see if that helps. But I'd love to take a class, just to have someone who knows what they're doing looking over my shoulder and stopping me before I mess the piece up. Nope. I don't think that's helping. Well, but we tried. Shove. So yeah, I definitely preferred squishing and smushing it with the flat nose pliers. And then perhaps we can give it the old squishy smush. Oh yeah, there we go. In this way. Artsy for. Yeah, about another hour, babe. Hammer time. Boom, 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 do, 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 all right, so now, well, I kind of want to use something thicker than a 20 gauge, but I'm quite low on the 18 gauge. Just in the silver though. I'm gonna grab the 18 gauge in antique copper, which I am gonna kind of deviate off to the side for just a moment. This is something I wish I had learned so much sooner, was to just use a bit of pegboard. And this is where I keep all my spools. And so I've got it's natural toned copper. It looks like bright copper, like bright bare copper, but it has that clear coat on it so it won't tarnish. And then I've got my vintage bronze, and then I've got my antique copper. And then down here you can see I'm really picked over on my silver tone. But I keep my actual bare copper in like a drawer with bags and like little like climate control silica gel packets. But those pegboards, that was game changing to me, because now I know, and I do it from 18 gauge. This might be helpful to other wire wrappers, is why I'm doing this. We do 18 gauge, 20 gauge, 22, 24, 26, and 28. So boom, that's like my fully stocked. I mean, it's not. I've got like a boing, boing. Oh, look at that. Oh, a hunk of crud. Oh, that's flavor right there. I gotta clean my house. I'm not going to, but that's for Wednesday, Vaughn. I have to like vacuum my freaking walls. But it's fine. Anyways, 18 gauge wire. Well, hey, Melisandre, how's it going? Oh, you're good, Lydia. I'm glad you're able to make it. Okay, so just running it between my fingers. All right, it's really nice being able to have turned our whole downstairs of our house into basically a craft room. But it's kind of all that we do. Like, we don't have kids. You know, whenever we had the nieces staying with us during the summer, well, they're all grown and either off to college or have their own place and stuff. So we're able to just do whatever we want, which is nice. I mean, it's lonely. I miss the kids, but... Aw, well, that's fantastic, Lydia. What are you making for dinner? So my inclination is to do like a full wraparound, but I'm going to have to trim that back. Do it, baby? Oh, spaghetti. I can't think what to do next to this piece. Look forward to seeing what you do. I'm going to try to make it look like an eye. But I want it to be very even. So already it's trying to act up on me. Yeah, doing that wire there totally put it in its own way. So I'm going to come back in here and I'm going to snip right there. I was only able to catch a little bit of that wire, but it should be enough that I can wiggle break it off. Coming in with those bent nose. We're coming in hot. Ooh, stand garlic bread and salad. Ooh, which stand garlic bread? I like garlic bread and salad. All right, let's close that loop nice and tight. Very good. Trying to rub out any high or low spot in the wire. Okay, so that's still bumped out a little farther than I want it to be. And I'm being very nitpicky on this piece, but hey, crafter's choice. If that's what I'm feeling today, then I see myself as a wire guide, not a wire wrapper. Right on. Like, how do you mean? All right, so I've trimmed off that weird end. Diane says, my entire living room and dining room are dedicated to my quilting and sewing space. Dining room has a store counter as my cutting table with storage under. That's nice. Mr. Moth says, how does it hold with only one closed loop? Magic. Pretty much. So I'm going to start the wrap this way. Okay. And this way it's out of its own way. And now I'm going to come around here and I'm going to cross. So it's sometimes just the angle of putting it on is going to get us where we want to go. And also it's holding on with just the one loop because we're using an 18 gauge. That is really helping. I don't know if I would be so trusting if it were like a 20 gauge. So now we're going to come into that herringbone weave where we wrap around. And now this side, and I'm working off the spool on this one because I have no idea how much wire it's going to actually end up taking. Oh, thank you, Lydia. But this next layer is going to be, I don't know if I'll be able to avoid that little bit of weird gap. So we're going to take advantage of that, and I'm going to use, where is it at? There's a little bit of like scrap from yesterday's project. Here we go. This is a 26 gauge wire. Moving my pliers off to the side. I'm going to I've got the wire or the piece on this end, and I'm just going to be wrapping around it. We're just going to be making a bunch of coils. So I've started by, I'm pinning down with about an inch of tail. Actually, this might be a 28 gauge. I don't even know anymore. Well, hey, April. Oh, this would be a wicked cool ring. No, this is going to be like a necklace or pendant or something. I don't know yet. I'm just kind of crafting. Ah, loud noises. I'm going to set that over there. Sometimes I just have to... Do y'all want to see how I organize my pliers? This might be helpful. I wish past me knew to do this. And y'all might actually have suggestions. I'm going to show you anyways, but y'all might have suggestions on a better way. So this is one of those rotating like desktop organizers. It's bamboo. I found it on Amazon. But I do my specialty pliers here. So that's where I would put my... I put my wire snips here. My specialty pliers. So these are my memory wire cutters. You know, I should probably do the cutters together, and then those, and then I got my ring clamp. I've got all my round nose and mandrel. I've got all my flat nose, and then I do my bent nose, and then I don't even know what I put right there. But we've also got, these are some little crimp bead pliers, those magic crimp bead ones. And then, yeah, but it keeps everything just right there, and that makes me very happy. So now some of that stuff is cleared out of the way. But I am going to be using my bent nose pliers to cinch this down, that little bit of tail wire. Waste not, want not, use every little bit. Oh, this would be pretty as a bracelet too. That's a good idea, Lydia. And hopefully this will be enough of the scrap wire that it'll get us where we're going. Whomp, squish. So as I lay, let's see how zoomed. I try to lay each coil right next to the other coils as we go. I don't want to be coming back over. Do you see how that has happened? That's not my favorite. When that happens, we just kind of backtrack. I'll rub my thumbnail on it. You can see how it's not quite so perfectly smooth as what it was, but that is perfectly okay. And we're just going to continue. And then every so often, I like to just give it a little squishy smush. Drusilla says, I'm not sure that any crafter ever has enough space. I know that I definitely do not. No, 100%. I find that like the like 3 foot wide and 2 foot in front of me of my workspace are my absolute most crucial. Like it could be clean in the other corner of the room, but if I'm dying in my mess right here, that's where it's my problem. So I made myself stop at like a 40-inch wide desk because I was like, I never want to have to clean off my desk being bigger than that. But sometimes if I do my wrapping and they're very far apart, this might be a good demonstration, it might not, and I squish it in together, it's a little lump. Actually, that came out really good. Let me try to, okay, so we're doing way too wide of a coil here. And then we squish it in. Do you see how that's an uneven wrap comparatively? And sometimes these things just happen. And sometimes it happens and you're not even aware of it happening. If I coil on a little closer with a better technique, it can tighten it up a little bit, but that's still not as like crispy. I want it crisp. And so let's crisp it up. I'm going to take my bent nose pliers. You could use whatever you have. Nylon jaw works pretty well too. But I like to grab and just kind of cinch a little bit. I'm not squeezing so much that it's going to bite through my pliers. I'm just kind of tightening it down just a little bit. And then we can give it the old squishy smush. That's pretty good. I like to avoid doing that if I can. Hawk says, okay, I need to get back to my beads. See you next time. Bye, Hawk. Have a wonderful rest of your day. Getting back to my beads. She always keeps so busy. She's such a hard worker. I admire that in folks. Like so much. Oh, Sarah says my cats get into my stuff, so I have to put it away when done. Well, I mean, I suppose that's a good habit to be in, though, really. And we're reaching the last couple of inches of our wire. So we'll get to test and see, because I might not even need all of it. Yeah, I don't need all this. That's looking cool, though. All right. So I'm going to bring this down this way. I'm going to come to like here. Let's measure. Measuring is good, right? And I want it to stop right before we get to where I'm just going to trim off of this end. I've isolated one tiny little coil. And I'm just going to reach in here. And we're going to snip. That was so satisfying. Did you hear that? What? Saki Girl says, oh, I just poured some wax melts that smelled just like Fruit Loop cereal. Love it when things run out. Mr. Moth says, my craft stuff is usually everywhere. No box, table, and horizontal surface is safe. Dude. Dude. The struggle is real. Alright, so I've snipped on both ends, and I'm bringing it around. And this way... Are we zoomed out properly? Yeah. They smell amazing. I bet. Some of those wax cubes smell almost too good. I'm like, I'm going to get myself in trouble. And I want to bring this down like that. Just stacking our wire next to itself. All right, Saki Girl says, of course, now I may want cereal. Hey, Brenda, how's it going? Let me make sure I'm in frame also. All right. And so what I'm running into here is there's a little bit more of a gap over on this side than what I would like. So I think I'm gonna... How's it going, honey? I'm gonna cut myself a really generous length of this wire. And now we get to do... Ooh.
This is the only thing in this box. But if you're recommending camping stuff,
Maybe, what is it? These are the lolly beads that I get from Amazon that I like so much.
huh?
And I like them. The lolly beads. What?
What'd you support that?
Huh? I'm sorry. What's that? Ah! The black light for the camp along just came in. Oh yeah. Okay. I like these beads because they've got a big old bead hole and I can fit it onto my wire. And I think I'm going to do a 4, 3... Oh, let's test and see. I'm going to slide off this little bit of coiling that we have extra. And I'm going to start with a 5mm just to see how it sits over in that corner. Oh, that sits so nice. I love that. Kim says it was nice watching for the first time. See you next time. Bye, Kim. We live stream every Friday. You can sign up for our free newsletter. We send out notifications. But have a great weekend and rest of your day, and thank you for stopping by. I just got a bunch of lolly beads last week. I have plans for them in the coming weeks. Nice. I like them. I like them a bunch. All right, so we did the 5mm. Let's go ahead and slip on... Whoopsie. We got a runner. I'm going to grab this 4mm. And then I take a couple out of the bag. Kathy says, I just bought both the silver and antique bronze beads for myself. I hope you enjoy the heck out of them. They're very nice. Will they fit? In today's episode, that one doesn't. In today's episode of Will It Fit? Now this is an 18 gauge, and this is their teeniest beads too. Oh, that one fits though. And that one almost does. Not quite though. I try to not force beads onto the wire because it can kind of shave and bite into the enameling. All right. So let's see. Oh, do you see how that like tapers down like that? So I kind of want to do... Should we coil along here or should we do just continuous beads of the smallest size? What do y'all think? Chat's choice. I can make a poll! All right, y'all. I'm going to take a little bit of a break because I'm feeling a twinge. But that's a tripod, I promise. We're going to run a poll real quick to see what we should do. I kind of agree with you, Blue, that we should do the coiling because it'll... What did I even do with this tripod? I'm a professional person, I promise. But I'm gonna make a poll because I can. Which should we do? Coil, or beads? All right, voting begins. Ooh, coffee. And also, if y'all have any questions or anything like that, now's the perfect time to ask. Almost look like eyelashes, right? Oh, I'm going for an eyeball look with it. So coil, then build up the beads again. Oh, Dee Dee, that's a good idea. I hadn't considered that. We can use that little section. Okay, I know I just posted the poll, but I think I'm gonna do what Dee Dee said because we have this little bit of coiling. We have this little bit of coil that I can. I'll just try it, like while we vote. Everybody's saying both. Okay. We're ending the poll. We're doing both. I mean, it was pretty close. It was pretty close. But, oh, it's almost perfect. It is almost perfect. So, do we coil a little more? Because I've got that little bit of scrap. Oh, yeah. Yep, that's going to be perfect. Trisella says, do you have enough of the tiny beads that would fit? I hope so. We'll have to go through this little, like, baggie of beads. I didn't even drink any. I'm supposed to be taking a break. Dee Dee's like, yeah. Hey, Bodega. Thanks for coming by. I'm taking a coffee break, so I gotta, like, chug this. It can wait. All right, let's get back to crafting. And this is why my hand always ends up hurting. It's because I'm like, I can do it. Tripod. That's my tripod farting. I promise. All right. Okay. I don't know. What do you use? Oh, I see. Randy's in here going, what kind of coffee beans do you use? Where'd that little bit of... Here's our little bit of scrap wire. And I'm going to show you how to splice wire. So we're going to zoom in. Oh, sure it is. So I'm just wrapping in and letting that wire settle. I want to make sure that I'm weaving in the same, or coiling in the same direction as what I was initially. And this is, I like to do this because I feel like it gives me a very nice continuous, I'm not just butting two ends of cut wire up against each other. I'm splicing them in. A tripod with human needs, right? No, that's Randy. When he's my my cameraman. I just saw the lolly beads come in platinum. I'll blow those with my next Amazon purchase. Yeah, I love the platinum even better than the silver, I think. It has like, although both are very nice, I just have a preference. But yeah, so just splicing that in. There we go. And now, you know, I'm working harder than I have to. Let's just bring it down to the end so that I can go like this. Well, hey, Vanessa, how's it going? Well, thank you. Yep, the bead thing. Does it fit or does it not? Oh, I don't know. What bead thing? Beans, says Randy. All right, so we're sliding all that coiling down. Oh no, we did too much coiling. Ah, heck. And I've got this like long bit of wire to kind of wrangle. So I think I need to snip like right there. Ooh, this is tricky because I don't want to... You know what? We just have to go for it. I don't want to do it wrong, but I don't want to not get it done. Oh my gosh. Well, thank you so much, Lydia. Oh, you're so kind and generous. Really, you're more generous than what we deserve. I appreciate you. Well, thank you so much. Dang, just leveled up and didn't even know there were levels. There's levels? Beans, beans, the magic fruit. I do love beans. They're so good. So I'm just doing more of that cinching just to get those loose pokey ends. Right on. We'll be here, I think, for at least another almost 40 minutes, so you should be good. Okay, so we're going to open up our little baggie. And in today's episode of Will It Fit? Have a great dinner. We'll see you, Lydia. Woohoo! Does that really? Aw, first one. Nailed it. Alright, we're going to scroll that down. Oh, I'm such a tangled mess. I'm going to zoom out because why not? Alright, so that's the wee bittiest. Then we're going to go up to the 3mm and then the 4mm and then the 5mm. And we're going to bring that all the way down and around. Oh, okay. So we could totally do with trimming off a little bit more, but I also kind of like that forced negative space that it gives us. But that's a little too much. So I'm going to pull off these beads. And I'm going to set them right there. And then we're going to come down here. I actually think it might have been fine if we hadn't have even spliced the wire in, but you know, sometimes that's how it be. So I'm gonna open that up. I'm taking a risk. Worst case scenario, we just do more coil. Oh, I trimmed from the wrong end. Well, hey, old red dragon. I like the negative space too, but I'd like to add that in the next layer. And so being very careful to not pinch on the coil at all because whoop, I want it to be able to fit. Oh yeah. And then smushing that down, but not so much that it won't slide on our beads because there's going to be at least a little bit of negative space, but we'll build that back up. Uh-oh. My bead is stuck. Whoop. There it goes. Okay. Gotta chase it. And then we go here. Thump. And then we go here. Thump. And then we go here. Thump. I trimmed my nails today because they were getting to the length where like they weren't all the same length and some of them were breaking. And so, oh, okay, I like that a bunch. Yeah, those are some gnome stickers that I can't remember if I did those or if Maddie did those. I'd hate to take credit for her work, but whoever made them, I think they're cute. Okay, and now, do what, baby?
You did know.
I did? Oh, well, thank you, Mr. Moth. Oh, having a little bit of a stretch and a bend. So this top bit, I want to do from small to large. Because again, really trying to go for that like eyeball look. But I have no idea how many of these I'm going to need to do. Y'all, I'm having so much fun getting to make this piece together. Like, really, thank you guys for being here. Like, everybody who's, even our lurkers, like, you don't even have to be commenting. I'm just, oh, and I'm gonna do it. I'm tired of messing around with these bags. I immediately regret this decision, but that's fine. Oh, but it makes me so happy to see all the beads. All right. I've made my bead tray. Now I must lay in it. So I'm gonna do, let's do 5 because that's a nice round number. And we gotta start somewhere, or maybe 3. Nah, we'll do 5. 4, 5. Daphne, they're pretty sweet. Like I've not had any does anybody who has used these Patty's the same. I'm lurking. I love my lurkers. I'm just glad to get to keep y'all company. I know for me the craft room can be a really lonely place. You know, just me watching like I don't know, cat videos or whatever it is that I do. Um hmm. Well, we'll just keep going. And so I really love getting, I don't know, just bouncing ideas off y'all, and I enjoy this. So thank you guys. Gumnut says, "Oh my gosh, I'm a lurker." You might be a little bit. Hey Gumnut, how's it going? It feels like it's been ages. How are you? But I do like putting on uh like, oh, one of our friends streams. I haven't seen one of her streams in ages, but she streams on Kick. It's Sisters of the Hook, and I'll go and just lurk in her streams. Oh, I love this. I think we should have just done 4 because it's a little off center. I kind of love it off center too, though, but I kind of wanted to be in the middle. Um, do what, hun? Randy says I definitely should have just done 4. Okay, let's do 4. So I'm using my fingertips to hold the beads down. And it worked! Let's try 3. Just because I want to have to take them off again. But I'm going to put those ones there because I know that they fit. Okay. Now we get to go like boop. And then we get to go like boop. More, I haven't put it on yet. I don't get to boop until I go boop. There we go. Well, hey, Christy, how's it going? And boop. 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 Yeah. I'm glad to be off today to see this live. I often watch the recording Friday nights. Ooh, right on. Well, I'm glad you're here live too. They're more fun live, aren't they? Like, Christy says, first time catching you live in a very long time. Well, I'm glad you were able to catch us. Did you get a notification, or did we just pop up, or right place and time? 1, 2, and 3. I wonder if this one will fit. Place your bets. Oh, it doesn't fit. Aw, thank you, Saki girl. She says, remember everyone, give Vaughn's vid a thumbs up. Ooh, I Walk in the Rain says, any Halloween tutorials this year? Not specifically, but also I've not been planning tutorials ahead. I'm just letting myself craft as it's happening. So I'd love to be able to put together something at the beginning of October, or maybe in the first week or two, of how to make your own dragon head, because I think those are so much fun. And I'm gonna be heck, we should have gone with 4. Why didn't I believe you? So now we get to restring the whole thing again. Well, I guess I don't need to do all 3 of those first little ones, so we're just gonna go like, whoop. Uh-oh. That didn't go as well as what it could have. Oh, well, thank you, Hope. That's actually, if it's the music I think you're talking about, that's me playing the guitar. So I'm really touched that you like that. I feel like I'm a late blooming bard. I want to grow up and dress up like a bird and go to the Ren fairs and play the guitar and sing like traditional tunes and stuff. I think that would be a really good use of my time. About as good as anything, but it sounds like fun. But I'm trying to learn the guitar, and it's slow going, but I think anything worth doing is difficult. Oh, well, thank you, Blue. to... Where do you get your metal beads, and do they tarnish really fast? I get these from Amazon. If you search lolly beads on Amazon, it'll come up. And I've not had any problems with them tarnishing quickly. Like, I wear them in my own jewelry and stuff. But I was saying that earlier. If anybody has any complaints about lolly beads, I would love to hear about that here in this stream, just to do, just for feedback, because just because I've not had a problem with something doesn't mean that it's not problematic, you know? Oh, yeah, we finally got it. And of course, it's going to be different on the next one if I do another in this design, because none of my cabs are, well, it's kind of close to the same size. And then we're just continuing on with that herringbone weave. So we're wrapping and just making sure that we're ending up on the same front side. 4 was perfect. You were right. And still I do not listen. But now I know. This is why I have to wear my helmet everywhere I go, is because I've got to bonk my head before I'm like, oh, yes. But, I will be making more spiders, but I actually have a bunch of beads that are doomed to become spider butts. We pulled them from the shop because they hadn't found a home. And it's the way that we do our shop updates is we start, this week is N. The item numbers are N1, N2, N3. And last week was M. And next week is going to be, I think we skipped O because it looks like a 0. So it's going to be P. But then whenever we do, LMNO, P, Q, R, S, T, U, V, W, X, Y, Z, boom, still got it. I've been brushing up on my alphabet singing. It'll go back to A. And whatever was still in the shop that had the item number A whatever, we'll pull them, because it's been up there for literally 26 weeks, or close 20 to 26 weeks. So these are all the beads that hadn't found a new home. And I make these on my torch, but they're going to be spider butts. So I think that's going to be pretty nice. I particularly think this one's going to be really cool. But that's what that pile of unwrangled beads is for. Actually, my favorite's probably going to be this one, because we used an opaque glass, and then I used a translucent either green or teal, and I just love the way that the light plays through it. I love making glass beads. And once it cools off, I don't like to run the kiln for doing my beads whenever we have air conditioning units going, because the ventilation just pulls all the air out of the house. Spider butts for the win. So now, do we do another layer? We've got some options. We could do another layer of coiling. We could do another layer of beads, which the coiling might look pretty cool, because I still don't know which side's going to be the top and which side's going to be the bottom, because I kind of want to do this layer but up here. And I think that might be perfect. I'm going to do that. Oh, Grace says, what doesn't this girl do well? Oh, there's a bunch of stuff. Do you want me to list it, or? Because time management, I'm very bad at driving. Very bad at driving, because I'm distractible, and I know I've got to, be paying attention to the road. But there's just a lot going on all the time. And, and you got to pay attention to that stuff. So, then, I don't know. Hey, Randy, what else am I bad at? This is a great... He says I'm not going to play this game. Yeah, that's wise. Oh, I love spiders, too. Oh, that one fits. That one fits. Good answer, Randy. Randy is wise. Who are you who are so wise in the way of grumpy Vons? 4. We're going to do 4 again this time. We might have to unstring it, but that's not the end of the world. It is so much easier to pull beads than undo coils and stuff. Well, hey, Samantha, in Spain. Wow. What's your weather like today over there? That's a good system. A through Z, then spider butts. Right? Well, I'm glad you think so, Patty. Oh, I don't need to reduce that just yet. We got to go to the 6mm. Wait, I already... I can make jewelry. This is fine. We've got this. I can string beads. Right now it's midnight, so pretty cool. Nice. That's wild. It is 5:38 here in my neck of the woods, and we had some of the prettiest clouds today. They were all just like fluffy, and there was a bunch of them, but I love it when they're fluffy on top and flat on the bottom. They look like almost like how a herd of buffalo or something just wandering across the prairie, but it's clouds just kind of meandering across the sky. Like they're all just going in the same direction. Oh, well, hey, Wally says, how many pieces have you made by now? Do you mean like in the past hour and a half? I'm on my second one. This is not a race. But if it were, I'd be losing. But that's okay. I'm having fun. Hey, Enchanted, how's it going? You have several Halloween type tutorials. Maybe make a playlist for easy finding. Oh, that'd be a good idea. We should do a compilation video where it's like, these are all my tutorials that are spooky. And then post it, and maybe YouTube will like that. Oh, this is Wally. Yeah. Uh-oh. Yeah, I'm going to need to do, now's the time to do 5. I don't know. Do I even like that at all? Well, we've got it on there. What do you think, y'all? Hey, Wandy.
I'm not a fan of asymmetrical stuff to start with.
Oh, really? Well, it's not asymmetrical.
What?
Well, because it's going to be horizontal. So long as it's symmetrical, the center line, right? Randy doesn't like it. Why don't you like it? But you have been working on prototypes. That's true. I might just stop while I'm ahead and leave it at that, but it looks a little nakey. I know, I kind of like it like that. Maybe it needs to be more forward or bigger. Sometimes if I play peekaboo with it, I'm like, maybe I love it, maybe I hate it. What if we put like a bead? Or different beads. I have these beads that I found. Let me drink some coffee. Cheers, everybody. Clunk. Yes, this is going to be, I was going to do it horizontal and then possibly have some like little chain drapes coming down. And so it's going to be like, I wanted it to look like an eye. Because that's where the flash looked the best, was on the horizontal. And then Michelle said, do it horizontal. So now we're here. Hey, Khalidi, how's it going? Lolly beads on each side with wire swirls, gemstone in the middle. Ooh. Maybe. But I found some of these beads. So let me pull these off because we can always string them back on. A lot of the fun of this, all of this stuff, is to just experiment and see what we like and what we don't like. And, you know, I've had pieces that I don't care for it and Randy doesn't care for it, but it's like it'll be the first piece that sells at an event. And we're like, all right. And we'll have pieces that like we both love and it'll stay with us for years. Like we'll be haunted by, you know, that piece is just lingers. Oh, well, they're out of order now, but that's okay. You're out of order. You're not really out of order. Okay, so we're going to go 1. I didn't need to pull all of them off. What if I do 1, And then one of the 3mm. Well, Randy's just throwing rings in the other room now. I think Randy's opening a whole nother pound of, what you call them, 18 gauge, 16 gauge, 5/16 aluminum. Oh, look at that. I love the texture on that. Just to mix it up a little bit. Gonna go wild. And then to the 5mm. Ooh, ooh. Oh, and I love these little guys too. I don't know if I have another one of that. Oh, I do. I miss my fingernails. I love little bead caps, you guys. They are so much fun, and I think they bring such character and depth into a piece. Making polymer clay monster beads. Right now, a heart with an eye. His name is Hug. Oh, what's a monster bead? That sounds fun. And then reducing it back down. And we can remove beads as necessary to get it to size nicely. Trisella says, I think every artist has had that experience. This year I have sold a couple of pieces that I loved, but have been in my inventory for 5 years waiting for just the right person. Yeah, and that's, jewelry doesn't go bad. Sometimes it just takes a while for it to find its home. Okay, so now there's a little bit more kind of going on there. But yeah, I like to save the little... I got these from Fire Mountain Gems. I don't know which bead cap that's the item number for, but it's one of them. I'm going to see if I can do this without flinging beads everywhere. Ah, well, thank you, Stacy Cakes. Purple Velvet. How are you doing today? I'm going to let those, slide down. Okay. I'm digging it. Oh. And you know how I know that I like it? Is whenever I have the feeling that it's like, I don't even care what anybody else thinks. I love this. Boom. All right. And then from here, we could do where we just hide kind of across the back. But I want it to be like inline. And the reason why I'm doing this is so that I can finish the wires off the same on either side. Oh, well, I'm glad you like it, Sarah. I lied. I do care that you like it. So it makes me very happy that you like it as well. I think that's one of the joys of sharing art with the world, is being like, I like it. Do you like it? You can be like, yes, I like it. I'm like, wow, we should hang out. Like, it's been most of my interactions, actually, but I like it. Oh, I'm doing really well, Purple Velvet. It's a beautiful day. We're going to go ahead and snip it. I didn't even really think about that, but we're committed now. Like, that was a whoops, oh well, like immediate. And now I get to try to tuck this in to where I can't see it from the front and where it's not snagging anything, but also simultaneously without chewing up my wire. There we go. Wow. Purple says, I'm about to make a labyrinth-themed bead embroidery. Oh my goodness. How is it labyrinth-themed? Like, what elements are you incorporating? Okay. Now we've got a little bit of a... Oh man, my poor fingernail. Give me a sec, y'all. Gotta give myself a manicure real quick with some wire snips and a metal file. No, I'm gonna use a proper emery board. These are working hands, y'all. Good as new. I just can't be having a soft spot right there on my thumb. But I've got a little bit of an issue with where that bead was sliding down, and so I'm going to come in here and just kind of very gently give it a smushy squish. David Bowie! I love that that's fiddle friendly. That little space right there is going to make me borderline insane that it's wiggling. Oh, wow. Well, thank you, Vanessa. I'm very pleased with my working space. I've been running into some issues with, like, I need to let myself let it evolve because I don't do all the same things the exact same way as what I did, you know, back whenever we did our big rearrange. But that's okay. But it is a happy place. I figure if we work from home, and if I'm a little bit of a workaholic, then I should at the very least be in love with the space that I spend all my time in. And I like it. Ah, thank you, Khalidi. Well, let's get this finished into something. We gotta sweep up. And this is where it's like I kind of wish I had to trick myself into cleaning up my workspace. I kind of wish I had like a miniature push broom that I could be like, time to sweep up the shop. And no, I don't want to lose the little pieces. So all the little bits of coiled wire and just the bits and bobs. Uh-oh, TMI warning. I named my stomach Bog from the Bog of Eternal Stench. Oh no! Sometimes a sense of humor can get us through anything. So that's one of our little bottles. And then I'm just gonna start another. Let me get that piece that I dropped though. If I can find it. See, this is what I'm doing instead of productive things that actually would be beneficial to our business. Oh, here it is. But quite frankly, I don't need to focus on efficiency. I need to focus on having fun and enjoying myself because at the end of the day, and I've said this before in some capacity, I'm sure, but it's worth saying again because I need to hear it. The difference between a job and a joy is the why. And at the end of the day, whenever I've made the piece, I've sold the piece, and the money is spent, all I have left is whether or not I enjoyed doing what I do. And quite frankly, that's a big reason of why we still do this is, you know, even whenever it's very stressful or even when, you know, our things aren't going, even when we're sailing on stormy seas, you know, this is still my passion. This still ignites my heart and my soul. And hiding my technically trash in little fairy bottles makes me happy, and I'll take that where I can get it. Quite frankly. And then whenever I get to the end where I can't fit it on anymore, I use my desk to press. And it's just going in the bottle. So it doesn't gotta be perfect or anything. Purple Velvet says, trying to find my way there. Oh. Gotcha. Oop. Oh. Hee hee. Now I have a happy little bottle of trash. Bwahaha. So I'm kind of wondering how this would look hanging off of it. So I have this wad of, I was trying to make this into a body chain, but I decided I didn't like it as a body chain. So I was like, but what if we just made it into a necklace? So that's what's going on with that. So for this one here, let's take some of this chain. We might need something thicker. And this is where I know it's not a neck. So it's going to be a little weird, but we were doing this yesterday in our stream, you guys, over on the Craft Along with Vaughn channel, and it worked out really, really well. Like, I loved it because it gives me a third hand. Now I just need to find my pins. Like, if I could find like a cork, like, necklace bust in the same sense as how this is like a cork wig head, that would be amazing. I haven't even looked, but in the meantime, this will do just fine, I think. So I'm actually just going to put a pin in there, and then I'm going to put a pin in here. And now we can take, these are just T-pins, I think, like how you use in like quilting and stuff, and I can fit my chain right there on it. And I'm gonna do, we can always pull it back out. Bye, Mr. Moth. Thank you so much for hanging out. Really, I appreciate you. You have a great rest of your day, too. And now I have to be careful because the way that I'm pinning, this may not necessarily actually line up with where, will it even fit through? I need to go grab different pins. I'll be right back. I got myself, yeah. I'm okay though. I'm not bleeding or anything yet. Okay. Oh my gosh, purple. This was game changing. It's how we did the circlet yesterday. And I just freaking love it. So yeah, we got some pins and needles. And I just, come on, Vaughn. Am I why we can't have nice things? Probably. I'm going to see if I can straighten this pin back out. Because otherwise I'm going to hide it in a bottle. Waste not, want not. Ah. Well, thank you, Vanessa. But yeah, where I'm pinning may not necessarily end up, well, this chain is magnetic, may not necessarily end up being where the chain ends up laying because of whatever jump rings that we end up using. Oh boy. All right. So now, let's see. And just like with most things, we don't have to know the perfect way, the most efficient order of operations for how to do this. We just need to get going and we'll find our way. All right, so through that one, and then through that pin, and then I'll take this pin out and then I'll sink that pin in. Because these are going to be going into like the same jump ring that'll be attached to the sides. And so this has me thinking, let me open this jump ring. So yeah, it's all these projects like this where I end up being able to like take apart something that I saved, you know, whether it's from a week ago or a couple of years ago. It's just so encouraging for my hoarding habits. So what I've started doing to keep myself from hoarding too much is every like 6 months, I declutter my craft room and sell it off as crap boxes. This would be a super cool brooch. What do you think? Because it ties in very slightly to this over here.
I don't think it should.
You don't want the charm on it?
No.
Okay. Bye, Trisella. Thanks for hanging out. You don't know till you try. What do you think of that, honey?
I like that a lot better.
Cool. Purple says, great idea. I really need a big declutter. Yeah. Yesterday, my hubby finally admitted that he was a hoarder. I mean, that's a big first step. I'm a hoarder and had an organizational problem. I still have one, as in I've run out of space to put things. But just it helped so much to just know what I have and where I have it. Yeah. And I like how little gap, medium gap, big gap. Big gap feels a little too big for me right now. So I'm going to test with a second pin to see if I like it better like that, which I do. It's minute, but I like it. Oh no, I pulled both the pins, or pushed both the pins into the same distance. Uh-oh. It okay. I'm gonna guess. I guess it was about right there. No, not quite. What up, baby? Uh-oh. He says. Not quite. Because what I'm going to end up doing is actually cutting the chain. Wherever it ends up, where the pin ends up going through, that's going to be where I cut. Cool. Oh, Barbie says my mother was the most organized hoarder I knew, but man, if you needed something, she had it and knew where to find it. And to me, that's like positive hoarding. But it's whenever we moved into this house, it was a hoarder house already. And then I had to figure out how to fit my whole craft room and business and everything in as well. So that was difficult. It took us many years of very slow purging until we were able to do just a big clean out. Puppy face on the table. It's under the lab's upper right side. It's by your pliers now. There's a puppy face. I don't see it, but I believe you. If you don't know what and where you have, then you can't use it. Yeah. Our storage room, and it's tricky too, because I feel like I would, be able to keep, like, if I just had a house that I just lived in, instead of working out of as well, I'd probably have a whole new set of problems. But Sarah says my hoarding is just beads, and I buy again if I can't find it. Beads don't go bad, is what I'm always telling myself. All right, so snipping that one and snipping that one. And now our chains should drape. There we go. Putting the pin back on the thing. Holding on to those pins. There's that. Removing the pins. And then I'm going to use, these are some stainless steel 20 gauge 1/8 inch rings. I'm just taking out a pinch. Okay. Well, thank you, honey. I'm gonna stick around until I get this done. And I'm gonna be using the square cut stainless steel. It's a square wire that is made into a round bead, but I love the way that it flashes. Not a round bead, a round ring. I clutter things because if I don't see it, I won't use it. Yeah, that's my tendency as well. And it's all just a balance, really. Like, there's an ebb and flow to the tidiness of the craft room. But we do try to make sure that we do like a weekly, like declutter and vacuum. That way it doesn't get, because I can handle clutter, but when the house starts to get like filthy, which it does, like our house was built in 1905, it seems to just grow filth like in the wood floor and just everywhere. But that's all right. I got my work cut out for me. And it's really nice to do like a weekly reset if I can, because it helps me to prioritize, do I want to put this away or am I actually going to work on it this week? It never happens in an ideal way, but it's an ideal that is worth pursuing, I think. I'm not going to stab myself. There we go. And so that way it can just hold my chain for me while I open up another jump ring. Ooh, just got some more beads today, Sarah. Oh, that's fun. What kind of beads did you get? One, two. If this were a curb chain or something, I'd be worried about keeping it like nice and perfectly flat with no twists. But it's just, it'll be fine. There we go. And now put those back into their container. Sarah says I don't have people over, so I don't have to clean. Gotcha. Well, it's like my allergies and stuff, and I do like to lay on the floor, and I'll just drive myself wild and live like a heathen if I don't. I got bit by the tick token bug with all the bead mixes. I have so many bead mixes. I fixed my OCD urges by just sorting 40 to 50 grams of small and seed beads. Right on. Can never have too many beads, right? Whew, this stainless steel is something else. Oh, TikTok, gotcha. And so now we'll take this like that, and we're going to come in, and I'm going to hook through that one side. I want to make sure we're not getting any twists or anything. And I'm going to hook through those two there. Shoo-wee, trying to get that closed to where you can't see the gap. Feel pretty good about that. And so then I'm going to hook this through there. And then we're going to come over and I want to find the longest one. And just hooking around. And if it's not on there perfect, that's okay. I can always adjust it. Oh, and that one closed so much easier. Cool. Ooh, Kathy says, Vaughn, are you still getting the Potomac bead boxes? I missed the unboxing. No, I sent them an email and thanked them for the opportunity, but I do not enjoy doing bead unboxing videos. Like it gives a little too much structure. And like I was getting stressed about it and stuff, so I was like, I don't think this is for me. So yeah, we had beaded adornments or adornable elements, I can't remember, and Potomac beads sending us bead boxes, and it felt like that's all I was doing was trying to figure out what to do with bead boxes, and I was like, this isn't why I started crafting. And then we also weren't getting any sort of like commission kickback for making those videos. And it didn't seem like a good direction for the channel to be going. But if I were to buy them again, I would probably do an unboxing. I get all clogged up on the whole being obligated to, for lack of a better term, perform. Like, because I didn't want to, be crappy. I wanted to come up with good designs and stuff, but it was a really hard time for us and things were not going well. So I thank them for the opportunity. Because that was right before we were like, I have to take like 2 months off. Like, let my hand heal and all sorts of stuff. So I'm just flipping the way that this ring was attached to take that twist out of the chain. Aw, Kalidi says, love how you figure out what is true for your creative soul. It can be a bit of a... It can be challenging, but, I mean, anything worth doing is challenging, I think. Gotcha, Sarah. And, you know, that's kind of... Oh, well, hey, Tigress! A million hearts, so glad to catch you live. I'd feel you like you about the bead box. Gotcha, DD. I mean, and I think it was awesome, but I did them for like, gosh, a year or two. Like, how long was I doing? Like, and so it just got to where it was like, it was time. Gotcha. Kathy says I was able to vicariously craft through those unboxings without I have to buy my own beads. I understand that. Like, honest to goodness, I feel like it would align more with my creative soul to just do like a mukbang where I'm eating like a bowl of cereal, like Captain Crunch or Golden Puffs loudly, while watching other people do unboxings. Because that's what I want to be doing. Oh my gosh. Okay, so I'm digging the heck out of that. I wish I had my bead collection is pitiful right now as far as my labradorite goes. Like, and just to be clear, only in regards to the labradorite. Like, I'm very pleased with my bead collection other than that, but they're my favorites, so they get used up the most. But this is the tray that I keep my labradorite in, and this is all I have. I have like these two no flash in them. Like, all the labradorite beads I have are C grade, and I've gotten so burnt on ordering them online that I refuse to buy them unless I see them in person first now, because it's like these are my last 4 8mm. Well, these are my last 3 8mm labradorites, and there's not a flash on any of them. Let me catch that one before it goes down the heater vent. Well, that'll be for future Vaughn to find. But yeah, so I was just getting kind of bummed on my labradorite, but otherwise I would put some really pretty... Oh, I think it did, Sarah. I think I'm going to have to cough up some of my own because we need the sales, like, very much. So I'm going to have to make some more groovy cabs and get them added if I can. But yeah, I'll do beads coming out to the sides here, like a little bead link, and that'll be something. We've got this extra 18 gauge. I'm gonna stay until I'm like, for just a little longer. Is that all right, honey? I know we've still got dinner to cook and stuff. Okay. Because it is coming up on dinner time. I can tell I'm getting hungry. Okay, so we've got... I'm picking out some of these little copper bead caps that are like little flowers. I just need 2 more. So there's one. And there's... Do I have one more? I do! Whee! Ah, Sarah says a lot of them are sold out. Thanks for putting them up. Oh, yeah. Well, thank you to everybody who's been shopping at our shop. Y'all are helping us to... We're kind of trying to stow away. Winter is coming, so we're trying our best to... We spent all of the money that we made at Dragon Con, more or less, getting the deep freeze restocked for winter and paying off our van. So it's very good that we did both of those things, but now we're like, let's get some cash flow happening. So we're excited for upcoming moth markets. like on October 18th. And then, ooh, I kind of want to do a little silver bead just to bring in a little bit more of that silver that's on the edges of this piece. So I'm going to use these 3mm, I think. Let me test them and see, because you never know. Nope, too big. Cinnamon and sugary and softly spoken lines. You never know just how you look through someone else's eyes. Ah, thank you, Kathy. Honestly, it's a big deal to us. We've worked very hard to get back to debt free and paying off the van. Yeah, because that was like a $350 a month bill. Ah, Dee Dee! You're so sweet. Thank you. But one less bill that's good, right? Is our hope. And we're trying to squirrel away for winter. So I appreciate you guys. Barbie says, did you set your lives up to be in the smaller center window pane? They used to be full screen before you left for DragonCon. I've tried to change it on my end and nothing works. On Fridays, we are intentionally doing the vertical style streaming because YouTube seems to really like it when we do that. So I'm going to make 2 of these little bead links. And so, do what, my love? By double. Like, so if we, on this channel, if we stream horizontally, we're lucky to get like maximum 40 viewers at a time, which again, I wish I could do this and not have to worry about any of that. But we rely very heavily on our YouTube channel, financially. Primarily just the ad revenue, like the passive revenue of folks just watching and hopefully enjoying themselves. And so there's one little link. And so we're trying to do what we can to appease a fickle algorithm. But over on the Craft Along with Vaughn channel, yesterday's was vertical because we're experimenting and trying to see. And again, we experienced the same almost, gosh, we got, I think, 3,000 views on yesterday's live stream by doing it in vertical, whereas the day prior, with almost the exact same thumbnail and with almost the exact same title, we only got like 200 views, which that channel's not even monetized. But we're just trying to get an idea of like, what does YouTube want us to do? That way we can do that, because at the heart of what we're doing here, I want to be helpful to y'all. When Randy and I started our business back in 2008, it's because we did not have any other financial prospects. Like the local factory that Randy was working at had shut down, or they had done seasonal layoffs. They ended up shutting down, but so I'm really glad we didn't put all of our eggs in that basket. It was really good money at the time. It was good enough that Randy was working full time while I was going to college to try to go that route. But other than working at like Walmart or working at the local factory, there wasn't anywhere else to work in the small town that we lived in. So it changed our life to be able to start our own business and to go to craft shows. It was very local in that first year. Like we didn't go to anything farther than an hour away, mostly because our vehicle wouldn't get us there. But we had a very slow and a very expensive learning curve. And I can only make so much jewelry in a day. I cannot go to every craft show or make every piece of wire wrapped jewelry for people to buy on Etsy. So I want to help you to make jewelry as quickly and efficiently and happily as possible. So any tricks of the trade, any designs, any way that I can be helpful to you, so that you might be a little bit closer to your own financial independence or your own bead stash, or just whatever it is. I just want to help enable that, because there weren't resources like that whenever we started our business. I wasted a lot of wire, had a lot of frustrated tears, and had a whole lot of feelings of like, I'm never going to be any good at this, and like just real negative. And so any way that I can be helpful to y'all, I'd still be showing up and fighting with this freaking algorithm even if we win the lottery. because and it's not just to be helpful to y'all. It helps me to sleep at night, to feel like I've done something to give back to the people who've literally taken care of us. Like, so much. Like, it was y'all's support during the pandemic. We were able to pay off the rest of our student loans. You know, we try to live frugally, but you know, it was really important to us to get out of debt. And and y'all made that possible for us. So if I can be helpful to you guys, I'm going to bust my ass to try to do that. And I just get frustrated whenever YouTube gets in the way of that. I feel by not sending people notifications, by, you know, just like, I think a fraction of a percentage of the folks who do watch our videos aren't even subscribed. So, like, I just don't understand how any of this stuff works. Ah, little sprite. Thank you. You guys are so kind. And I'm not telling y'all, you know, our origin story to try to like beg money out of y'all, but I do appreciate it. Like, I'm not going to tell you to stop, but also please do not feel obligated. Like, YouTube's such a hunk of butts that I just can't help but complain. It's a little bit gothy, a little bit steampunky. I think this will be perfect for the moth market. So I kind of want to see. So I'm going to have to attach some chain just to be a little dinky, just to see how it sits. Oh, Dee Dee, we love y'all as well, truly. And I can't wait. Next weekend is the camp along. And even when some of y'all aren't able to make it, which I understand, we have it in a different state every year, but I get to go and just remember. And whenever I'm in the kitchen, like our kitchen tent at the camp along, and I've got my back to everybody around the campfire, so I can't really see who's there, but I can hear just like the ambient, like, happy camper noises. I still hear you there, Dee Dee, at the potluck. You know, so that was such a gift to me that y'all were able to come out to the camp along. Do you get the full amount of what people donate to you here on YouTube, or is there another way to donate to you more directly without others' fingers in the pot? I know, I think we get like 55 cents on the dollar of what goes through YouTube, or something. You can always feel free to buy digital templates off of our website if you want to just like throw money. But really, the best thing to do, buy yourself some beads and just follow along with one of our tutorials. Like, that's truly, like, I think that's the best way. I think to be supportive is to just craft and enjoy yourself. All right, so I don't know that this is the chain that it's going to finish off on, but I've just got to get something to get it to where, because like everybody takes their cut. PayPal takes their cut, our website takes a cut, like the payment processors and stuff. So it is what it is. Ha! That being said, let's try on some jewelry. Or also, if you have any beads that you don't want, you could mail me some beads. This is what I was afraid of. No! It's floppy. I have too many beads. I will check out the templates though, right on. Because that way, because that's what I'm going to do with any money I make, is just go buy beads. So let's cut out the middleman and just deal in beads. Yes, we'll put on the circlet here shortly. But I just wanted, my concern with this is that it's going to be sitting too far forward. And that bottom wire, I don't know if I'm tangled or if it's just sitting funny. Not the bottom wire, but the bottom chain. So I feel like I need to do this chain just a little longer. I mean, that's kind of cute though. I wonder how it looks as a circlet. But yeah, do you see it flops forward? I mean, that's kind of cool. It's all like in my eyeballs, but... Cinnamon and sugary and softly spoken lines. Sarah says, oh, we can mail you random beads. I'm going to regret this probably, but I will take, like, well, because, like, I've still got beads in my collection that our friend Jim sent me, and I haven't heard from Jim in ages, but it makes me so happy every time I open up one of my beads, one of my trays, and see those beads that he sent. So I think what we may end up doing is if we did, like, a little leather choker or something, like, pretend with me, this is just foam. But that kind of goth vibe. And we would use something about half as wide as this. So instead of a 1 inch, we'd use like a 1/2 inch. Like maybe, like one of those, like, what is it, satin or velvet? Huh. We're gonna, I use this foam for a bunch of different things. Cinnamon and sugar. I just need a sample. Or like a suede. That would be really cool. So yeah, I don't feel like I have the neck for it, but if we pretend, and I may end up taking the chains off entirely, you just never know. I don't know. Harumph and grumble. Circlet time. We'll figure something out. A leather backing. I think that'll keep it from, like, okay, everybody's saying yes, so we'll do the leather backing. Does this still have its foam on it? It does. I would leave the chains because yes, it will be perfect for a longer necked person. Right on. I may end up using some different chain, like maybe 3 different textures or something, and possibly, I don't know, possibly something to bring together. Yeah, that first chain needs to be just a little longer. But can you picture just it staying? But what if we did it like an Illuminati triangle? Oh, but it still falls forward. Ooh, I hate that. What about a leather backing and turn it into a hair clip? I love that. Oh, yeah. Okay. I love putting stuff in my hair. But yeah, so this has been a lot of fun to make, but that's a way that we could do those groovy cabs horizontally, and I love that the back is open as well. So a Rolo chain, that would be really cool. Sky's the limit, y'all, on all these different possibilities. So, and I may end up doing a little bit of a leather backing on one of these as well, because I just love that butterfly. But I can't wait to test out some different designs with it and see. So thank you guys so much for coming and hanging out with me today. I have had, this was an invigorating crafting session, because also, y'all, what if we turned it into one of those bar rings? For like, have you seen that? Where like, it'll be, I've normally seen them where it's like you'll put 2 fingers through and it's like just a cool ring, but then it's got me wondering, what if we did a bracelet into a hand flower? Maybe. I don't know. I'll see y'all next week at the camp along. And Patricia says, I have lurked on purpose, working while I watch. Very productive. Excellent, Patricia. I'm glad to have kept you company. Thank you, everybody, so much for coming and hanging out with us. This time next week, we will be having a rave in the woods. And it's going to be like a very mild rave, but it's going to be a blast. I can't wait. So we'll see y'all. I'm going to have, I don't know if it's going to be a tutorial or a short tomorrow. And then we're going to have another tutorial on Thursday, but there will not be a Friday live stream next week. Unless we've got some signal, we might live stream a little bit. We'll see. I don't know. I'll try my best. Okay, wow. This is Misty. We'll do our best. And, yeah, sign up for our free newsletter and you'll never miss a thing, hopefully, unless we go into your spam folder. So have fun glamping. We will. I'll see y'all. Have a great rest of your weekend. Mwah. Happy crafting. Click the button and then I go like this. Ah, Randy, did you